David could have found a way to run. David could have given up. David could have curled up in the corner and waved the white flag of surrender. David did not give up. He was distressed, but he did not give up. He was stressed, but he did not give up. He was perplexed, but he did not give up. But what David did is that David encouraged himself in the Lord. There are so many stories similar to this in the Bible. Many people choosing to give up because they have lost their strength. They couldn't go on anymore, but they encouraged themselves. God helped them to get back on their feet. When God created this world, He created everything to be easy and smooth for all of us. But when sin came, it reshaped the world. Since sin came in, you and I know this fact and this reality. Jesus knew about this world. He knew there would be nothing easy in this world. He told His disciples about this in John 16:33. These things I have spoken unto you, that in me ye might have peace. In the world ye shall have tribulations, but be of good cheer. I have overcome the world. Jesus told them the truth about life. He assured them of victory. So today I want to ask you, what are you doing right now? The challenges that you are facing are a part of life. That is how this world has been redesigned by sin. David encouraged himself in the Lord when he was faced with challenges, when he was alone, when he had no one else that he could count on, when everyone that should be there for him turned their back on him. He encouraged himself in the Lord. What are you doing? Are you discouraged and you want people to pity you because of the challenges you are facing? This is the time for you to stand up on your feet and encourage yourself in the Lord. Don't wait for other people to come and pity you. Don't wait for other people to come and save you. Don't wait for other people to come and give you a helping hand. There are moments in life when you need to be your own support system. You were not made to be pitied by anyone. You were made to show strength to everybody. Be strong in the Lord. The Bible called you a royal priesthood. You are a child of God. You should not be discouraged by what is happening in this world. You should be strengthened. The truth is, life is full of battles and challenges. The challenges that you are facing today are stepping stones to the life that you will have. There will never be a warrior without battle. There will never be a victory without a fight. There will never be a conqueror without a conquest. Just because you fall down doesn't mean it's over. Micah 7:8. Rejoice not against me, O my enemy. When I fall, I shall arise. When I sit in darkness, the Lord shall be a light unto me. This person was very strong to shout this at his enemies. He was sure that his fall is not the end because he knew God will always be there to raise him up. And that's something that needs to be in your soul and needs to be in your spirit and needs to be in your mind. God will raise you up when you fall. When the world is against you, you should know that what is important is that God is by your side. Romans 8:31. What shall we then say to these things? If God be for us, if God is for us, who can be against us? We all know the wonderful story about Elisha and his servant when the Syrian army came with their horses and chariots, and Elisha's servant was terrified. A whole army with battle-ready soldiers was there ready to take over. The servant was confused and afraid. We see in 2 Kings 16 the following, and he answered, this is Elisha speaking, fear not, for they that be with us are more than they that be with them. This statement did not convince the servant until Elisha asked God to open his eyes, and he saw the mountains full of horses and chariots of fire. Are you complaining about your situation? You are wasting time complaining. If only you knew, if only you can ask God to open your eyes, and you will see the God that is for you is much greater than the situation that you are facing. Then you'll be bold and strong to face whatever you have to face today. Don't you understand that you're a child of God? God is on your side. I know what the situation looks like. I know it doesn't look like it will end well, but God is on your side. That's what I've come to remind you today. If God be for you, who can be against you? Let the odds be stacked against you. Let the world turn its back on you. Let everyone boo you. Let them try stop you. Their efforts are meaningless when God is involved. Just know God will never leave you. This is a word of encouragement to all souls that are troubled and feeling like it's over. God says in Deuteronomy 3:6, "Be strong and of good courage. Fear not, nor be afraid. For the Lord thy God, he will never leave you nor forsake you." God is not a liar. He cannot tell you this and then fail you. He doesn't fail. He said you should be strong. He said you should be courageous. He said you should be not afraid. The time you are using to complain and to question God's promises, why don't you use that time to believe in God? Daniel was thrown into the lion's den. He was not afraid because he knew what his God was capable of doing. The 3 Hebrew boys were thrown into the burning fire. They were not afraid because they knew who their God was and is. Your lion's den, your own burning fire might be sickness. It might be unemployment. It might be hatred from people. It might be failure. It might be some unpleasant situation. It might be divorce. It might even be the year 2020. Or it might be another big challenge that you are facing this year. I want to remind you that Daniel remained calm and strong. The 3 Hebrew boys were bold enough to reply to the king. That means you have to be bold too. In 2 Corinthians 3:12, Paul says, "Therefore, since we have such a hope, we are very bold." This means that if your hope is in Christ Jesus, you will be bold and fear not.
The enemy will throw everything he can at us as Christians to get us to stray from God to join him. That is why Paul tells us we must endure hardships as a good soldier of Jesus Christ. It will not be easy for us, but we must press on fighting the good fight of faith. We cannot afford to sit back and just take what the enemy brings our way. We can't let the enemy win. We must fight back, not physically, but spiritually. The Bible tells us this and instructs us to put on the whole armor of God. The helmet of salvation must be kept on at all times. The purpose of the helmet is to protect the head. And what I really mean is the mind. Now we know that the mind is the battlefield where the war is fought. Injuries to the head are to be avoided. As a Christian, you need special protection to your mind. Now, a helmet is something that you put on. It does not come on the head automatically now that you are saved. Philippians 2:5, "Let this mind be in you, which was also in Christ Jesus." Romans 12:2, "And be not conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind, that you may prove what is good and acceptable and perfect will of God." As a Christian, we must fight the weapons the enemy uses, known as fear and doubt. We must know that all things work together for good. As a believer, I need to have good expectation on God's promises concerning my life, my children, my family, my business, and my relationships. This will give me peace of mind.